All right, friends. Our next speaker, could she be one of the insane people making policies? I hope not.
Yeah.
Yes, no. She is serving her second term as Akbayan representative. She's one of the most progressive politicians that we know, a woman rights activist, also a former journalist. Alam niyo po, we have very few politicians that we ask to speak in Why Not. A number of them actually want to speak in Why Not, but we invite very few politicians. But we felt that this question was very apt for her. Someone was not stopped reimagining what the Philippines could be. Without further ado, friends, let's welcome Akbayan Representative Risa Hontiveros Baraquel.
Salamat, Bam. Well, I hope isa ako sa mga insane. Okay. Ako bang mag-ano nito? Papaandar nito? Oh boy. Okay, this is the challenge for me today. Okay, so why not a reimagination? At yung gusto kong iambag sa individual at collective na reimagination natin ngayong hapon ay yung tanong na ito. Why not a nation of activists? Teka, bago mag-react, I'll share a bit what I mean by that. And an activist state. Sabi kanina ni Major Dennis, a strong state. And I do empathize with that, and Akbayan Party empathizes with that in a lot of ways. At yung terminong gagamitin ko lang ngayong hapon ay an activist state. Sige, naghanda ako ng ilang reflections dito. Kaya sabi ko, wag munang mag-react dyan sa why not a nation of activists? Dahil siguro marami sa atin may mga stereotypes tungkol sa anong ibig sabihin ng activists. Chanting, wearing red, the color red, rallies. Binanggit din ni Major Dennis kanina. Rallies. Isa sa mga staples ng mga tradisyon ng mga aktivista. Pero baka isang view lang yon, bagamat yung pinakakilala, yung pinaka-established, isang view pa lang yon ng activism. At ang activism ay maraming kulay, maraming anyo, marami ring orientasyon. So it's a matter of our consciousness. And consciousness doesn't have one stream alone. Marami yan. Activism basically is taking action for change. So we can do that not just in grand productions like people power revolutions, but parang isang sinabi din ni Major Dennis kanina, everyday heroism. Actually, we need activism every ordinary day, even when it's not, especially when it's not an election year. Every ordinary day na mamamayan tayo sa iba't ibang paraan. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Okay. Tumaas na yung isang notch yung aking self-confidence. Salamat sa Why Not. Imagine, John Lennon, channeling John Lennon, imagine a country where all citizens are engaged in rethinking the Philippines and our collective future. Awit din ni Joey Ayala ang mga dakilang gaway nagmumula sa guni-guni. So first we imagine it, and then we are able to do it, to make it happen. Sabi nila, we've become desperate and cynical. Kinamumuhian natin, pinandidirian natin, kinaiinisan natin ang sitwasyon ng nakaraang at least 8 taon. Pero somehow, unfortunately, as a national community, we seem to have just been coasting along dahil akala yata natin ay walang mga viable options or alternatives o hindi pa tayo naglilikha ng viable options at alternatives. I don't believe that we're cynical. In the same way na minsan naging uso sa mga komentarista sabihin na apathetic daw ang mga kabataan. They don't care. I never believed that. And I don't believe we are cynical or that cynicism has made us apathetic. I think, in fact, despite some of the reactions there may have been to the first phrase about being a nation of activists, I think, in fact, we are a nation of closet activists. The moment we start thinking, sana ganito na lang, or dapat ganito, we begin the process of reimagining our beloved Inang Bayan. If we take it further, if we take reimagining further, that act of reimagining further, make the leap and turn the ideas that we generate through our imagination into analysis and to action, in that moment we are being activist. A nation of activists means change. Ayan, yung pagbabago ni BAM. Pagbabago, pagbabago. For example, that means millions of registered voters who can put their activism on the ballot. Make it of record, make it official. Millions who will make sure that fraud doesn't happen again. Millions who will make sure that their own choice is done wisely. And that from there on, elected officials are always on their toes to serve the nation. Accountability. It means we understand that People Power 1 was a beautiful beginning and that it remains a work in progress. It remains an incomplete revolution. And no individual Ninoys, no individual Cories can complete this revolution if we insist on leaving it up to them alone or to any new hero for that matter. This task of nation building that Major Dennis also talked so much about. Gaano man tayo ka-inspirado kina Cory at Ninoy. And my generation of activists, Chito Gascon is also here, Rapa Lopa is here. Palakpakan nyo! nung linggong yon, nung wake at saka nung libing, talagang andali-dali pag magkikita kami, andali-dali naming maluha. Because we remember what Cory meant to us during the People Power Revolution. Isang bagay na, isang kahulugan, isang significance na hindi matatawaran ng anumang mga nangyari pang ibang issue mula noon hanggang ngayon. And her death for us, I think, as among many other meanings, meant the passing of an era. And it meant that all the tasks that we began with her 2 decades ago and that remain unfinished, yun yung parang this is the beginning of the rest of our lives as citizens. This is the beginning of the rest of our lives as political persons at kailangan nating ipagpatuloy at kompletuhin. But ibig nga sabihin, itong nation building, hindi natin pwedeng iasa lahat sa ating mga kawawang bayani of whom we demand so much. Kailangan talaga kasama tayo sa prosesong yon. Kahit pa sila ay nagsimula, sila ay namuno, pero merong tayong ambag na natatanging sa atin lamang at dapat. Okay, and it means, this nation of activists meaning change, means change from below. A nation of activists would catalyze this change from below. The next people power or people powers need to start from the bottom, where the deficiency in democracy, the so-called democratic deficit, is most glaring, and where reforms would have the bigger impact. This is where, and I return to the many wonderful and experienced insights that Paco shared with us. This is where, for example, homebound Filipinos can make a bigger impact. How can they, or if there are others of you here among the participants today, how can you improve the communities that you left behind long ago? How can you apply what you've learned abroad, from clean air to waste management to good governance that isn't again a grand production or the kagandahang loob ng mga trapo, but just a simple and reasonable expectation of tax-paying citizens from their elected or appointive officials. How can you apply what you've learned from abroad to improve your own local and national communities? A nation of activists also means an empowered people. It means government engaging, it means people, citizens, engaging government and all its institutions. There's no doubt that our system is imperfect. And even if it were already established and efficient, I still would leave it more to us citizens than to robots. And definitely I agree with what Major Dennis was saying. Please, no robots now, or for that matter, in the future. There's no doubt our system is imperfect, but come on, let's not use that as an excuse not to demand reforms from government. And let's not let our government officials either, whether in the executive or in the legislature or in the judiciary, foist that excuse upon us so that we leave the business of governance only to them or only to us. It means defining the agenda of government even at the level of communities. So local government units remain such an important arena of engagement as citizens. We take part in the crafting, for example, of the development plans of our barangay through the local development councils. We find ways to help gain revenues for our local governments and with the same vigor make sure that the money won't go to the pocket of politicians, but really to implementing those local development plans. Activists within the government equals transformation. Actually, marami tayong naging karanasan din ito, mga reform-minded elements na pumapasok sa iba't ibang administrasyon. But they didn't, up to this point in time, achieve that critical mass that one participant was asking Major Dennis to reveal whether meron na sila sa armed forces na mga reform-minded elements. Hindi pa tayo nagkaroon ng isang administrasyon. Bagamat pumasok yung mga aktivista, mga taong nakataya sa pagbabago, pumasok sa administrasyon, pero kulang pa sila sa bilang at dahil doon kulang pa sa impluensya para talaga baguhin yung direksyon ng buong administrasyon. Marami sa kanila ay na-frustrate, may ilan sa kanila nakain ng sistema na pinasukan nila para baguhin. So kailangan paramihin pa natin yung mga aktivistang papasok sa gobyerno at higit na mahalaga, maging mas malakas pa yung suporta natin bilang mga mamamayan sa ganitong mga reform-minded elements sa loob ng gobyerno. Activists within the government equals transformation. But what enables activists to enter and to remain within and to become effective within government? Imagine a battalion of active citizens. Hindi yung batalyon sa army ni na Major Dennis, pero batalyon ng mga activists na mamamayan, mga active citizens sa ating buong lipunan. Mas marami naman kasi tayong lahat kesa sa mga trapo. We take milyon-milyon ang disenfranchised, pero kakapiranggot lang ang nasa kapangyarihan. And they, yung mga trapo, have been in power for ages. Imagine a situation where power is distributed democratically. It can be claimed by anyone. Anyone has equal chances of being elected to office. It would transform politics into a contest of ideas and ideals. Hindi isang contest na determinado ng 3 or 4 Gs, guns, goons, gold. Sabi nung iba doon, minsan girls pa. Oh, the sexism of our politics is amazing. In a nation where even ordinary people have equal chances of getting themselves elected, the government becomes a government of the people. Sa maraming working democracies, power is distributed, if not perfectly equally, much more equally. Kanina binanggit ni Bam, or maybe it was Major Dennis also, yung Scandinavia. So sa Sweden, sa Germany, kahit dito sa Asia Pacific, sa New Zealand, ordinary workers are elected as parliamentarians. They know how government should act on issues that affect the people because they are part of the people. Kung ang gobyerno natin ay sa malaking bahagi galing din sa mamamayan, dinaranas yung mga problema natin sa araw-araw, hindi lang siya konsepto. Kapag nararanasan yung problema, nai-imagine yung solusyon. At dahil nai-imagine yung solusyon at nagdurusa sa kasalukuyang mga problema, mas committed na baguhin itong sitwasyon na ito. So, from closet advocates to activists, how to make that transition or make that inner transition visible. How do we break the closet? So it's not just for LGBT, for lesbians, gays, bisexuals, and transgenders to come out of the closet. All of us citizens, whatever our gender, whatever our origins, how do we break the closet and become activists? Of course, it doesn't happen overnight. Yung mga pambansang revolusyong politikal tulad ng EDSA 1, EDSA 2, hindi rin pa nagaganap. Many nights hence, pati yung ating individual na pagbabago ay hindi nangyayari overnight. But 2 factors, whether as a nation or as a person, are necessary. A breakout moment, so kung sa bansa natin ay collective breakout moment, and a change in our consciousness. Hindi talaga sasapat yung pagbabago lang sa ating politika, pagbabago sa ating ekonomiya, kung hindi nagbabago din yung ating kamalayan, yung ating kalooban. It's that change in consciousness that will make the societal changes in the economy, in politics, sustainable. At yun yung hahango sa mamamayan ng pagtataya to institutionalize these changes in the structures of our society, to internalize the changes in our political culture as citizens, as human beings in this country. Para, yun na nga, hindi na maging special production ang pagbabago, kundi isang posibleng araw-araw na kaganapan. We need triggers. The most recent, of course, the passing of Cory Aquino, and the collective remembering, and the collective, I believe, recommitment to not just what she, but what all of us with her meant to each other and to our possible future. Ngayon na yon, when we made the EDSA People Power Revolution happen in 1986. We need triggers to understand that we are all stuck in this quagmire unless we act collectively. Such triggers amplify the status quo. We are the nation to which belonged Marianette Amper, the 12-year-old girl in Davao City who killed herself because her parents said they could not afford a mere 100 pesos, mere to us, but the large to them 100 pesos for her school project. Samantalang may kababayan tayo at kabaro tayo na gumagastos ng 1,000,000 piso para lamang sa isang hapunan. We're the nation which includes mothers who kill their children so they can help them escape from a life of poverty and hopelessness. We're a nation which includes old men who climb billboards just to stop being invisible and just so that they can more audibly beg for mercy from government and from our society. This kind of desperation can really be numbing. And we need triggers to jolt us, to make us understand that we are one nation, or we are many nations in this one nation, many peoples in this one nation. Andun din yung Bangsamoro, andun yung mga lumad at iba pang indigenous peoples together with us, the mainstream Filipinos. And as this one nation, regardless of our individual disposition, we are all suffering. Directly, nagdurusa tayo at o nakikiramay tayo sa pagdurusa ng mga kababayan natin. Change in consciousness is necessary to help us realize that our thoughts, our ideas, and our anger need to be transformed into actions. Hindi pwedeng paikot-ikot lang sa internal system natin. Pag nagbabahaginan tayo tulad dito, then perhaps we can collectively feel together, think together, maybe begin to take decisions together in order to bring about change. And this is where, as Paco talked about so concretely, this is where education comes in. And unfortunately, as of now, we can't rely completely on our educational system. Ang dami pa ring magaganda, nagpapatuloy pang mga reform programs, both in the public education sector and the private education sector, both of which are sinking into a situation of systemic crisis. Pero hindi lang naman yung education system natin, yung formal education system, ang naguhubog sa kaalaman, kasanayan at kamalayan natin. There are also the other social institutions like mass media, like our churches, our very own families. We need to build platforms in all of these educational spaces, during all of these educational moments, habang yung mga anak natin ay nasa mga klase nila, habang tayo ay nagsisimba o sa ibang mga komunidad ay nagsasamba, habang tayo nanonood, nakikinig, nagbabasa, nasa internet, sa ating mga pamilya habang nakikipag-ugnayan sa ating mga anak, mga asawa o partner, mga magulang natin, mga apo. We need to build platforms in all of these spaces. Our alternative classrooms, parallel sa mga classrooms sa paaralan, to deepen our understanding of the situation and to map out the actions that we need to reverse the status quo. Babalik ako dun sa pangalawang bahagi ng unang pangungusap ko. A nation of activists, so tayo, o potentially tayo, building an activist state. Strong state, in another language. Think about an activist state instead of a draconian government. There's a big difference between GMA's so-called strong republic, natikman natin nung state of emergency nung February 2006. Hanggang ngayon, may mga ugong na ibabalik pa ba yung batas militar. malayo ang distansya sa kanyang strong republic sa isang activist state. Yung kanya, renamed, repackaged martial law, kung saan yung batas ay ginagamit para ipilit yung legitimacy. Marami sa atin ay tinakwil na yung legitimacy ng administrasyon niya mula nung malaman na nandaya siya sa Hello Garci na taon. The latter, yung activist state, na posibleng i-imagine natin, yan ang legitimate. Dahil yung Estado mismo, dala ng mandate na binibigay ng karamihan ng mga mamamayan sa isang demokratikong eleksyon, yung Estado mismo becomes an agent of change, becomes a channel for action towards change of its citizens. An activist state uses its mandate not to impose legitimacy, but to deliver reforms. And I do believe, as a Filipino, ito yung trabaho ng isang gobyerno sa isang bansa tulad ng Pilipinas. Magpatupad ng reforma. I'll finish before last 15 minutes are up. This activist state isn't bound by political debts. And it exercises political will not to evade accountability. So kahit anong sandali, kaya niya at handa siyang humarap sa kanyang legislature, sa question hour, sa Kongreso, sa Korte Suprema, kung may mamamayan na maghain ng kaso, o sa mga mamamayan directly, sa mga iba't ibang assemblea, sa mga komunidad. This activist state makes itself accountable simply and purely by performing its duties. So duty, talagang isang napakagandang salita at ideya, matagal nang parang nalimutan sa ating gobyerno, pero nasa puso pa rin natin bilang mga tao. May mga bagay minsan ayaw nating gawin, hindi natin feel, hindi natin type, pero dapat. At dahil dapat, gagawin natin. Let's pull our government back to that ethos again. GMA's strong republic deforms. It has weakened checks and balances in the executive. It has compromised what the Constitution demands of the legislature, that it be a separate, co-equal, independent branch of government. It has even tried to subsume the judiciary to its political will. An activist state transforms. It provides social services that people actually need. Education, health, basic public utilities like electricity, water, employment, housing. In that sense, this activist state is really stronger than GMA's strong republic. Among nations, a Philippines with an activist state would be a source of pride. Another source of pride. Kahit ganito na tayong kahamak, marami pa rin talaga tayong ipinagmamalaki. Kinento yan ni Paco, meron din ganyang mga sinabi, si Major Dennis kanina. It means standing up for democracy, committing our nation to the principles of equality and the common good. Hindi lang sa mga kalsada, hindi lang sa pamamagitan ng mga rallies, sa bawat taon na may eleksyon, at hindi lang yon, sa bawat karaniwang araw nga na namamahala yung mga hinalal natin at tayong mga mamamayan ay ginagampanan yung ating mga tungkulin bilang mga anak ni Inang Bayan. And lastly, why did I welcome so much this chance to share with you some initial thoughts on reimagining the Philippines? Because reimagination is the beginning of hope. At paano naman tayo mabubuhay at magpapatuloy mabuhay kung wala sa ating mga kalooban yung pag-asa? We need to reimagine ourselves, our own nation, because we have no option but to hope that we can change our own lot. I do believe na pinanganak tayong mga Pilipino dito sa Pilipinas hindi dahil aksidente. May dahilan. Pinanganak tayo mga Pinoy dito sa Pilipinas, nangingibambayan tayo, minsan nananatili tayo doon, minsan umuuwi din kay Inang Bayan, dahil there was an intention na kilalanin natin si Inang Bayan, na mahalin natin siya, na pagsilbihan natin siya, na maya't maya kapag kailangan, i-reimagine natin siya. Challenging the status quo shouldn't be left in the hands of politicians or even among well-meaning technocrats. We need to reimagine our lot with them, with all of us, because we need to reclaim our future. And because there are alternatives. I mean, yung iba doon, hindi pa nalilikha, likhain natin. Yung iba doon, nasa horizon na, kailangan masulyap natin. Yung iba matagal na, nasa sinauna pa sa ating kasaysayan, panahon ng Katipunan ni Rizal, ng lahat ng mga kababayan natin kasama yung mga bayani sa mga dekadang sumunod hanggang ngayon, kailangan lang nating maalalang muli. If we think that our alternative is just to leave the country, maybe never come back, or just to leave the country, stay in our new home countries, and forget about the Philippines, we would be mistaken. And Paco has shared that with us much more eloquently than I can, because from his own life experience, we can't and we will never be able to wash away our nationality. And we don't want to. We are Filipinos sa isip, sa salita, sa gawa, sa ating diwa. Simulan na po natin at ipagpatuloy po natin ang pagbabago. Maraming salamat mga kababayan. Mabuhay po kayong lahat.